Hello and welcome to mlloyd Artist. This is my channel, and here I make crazy abstract colorful art. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and of course all the bots who are tuning in live, and also hello to all those who are watching the recorded replay on YouTube. It's good to have you here, no matter where you are, whether on YouTube or Twitch. It's good to have you here or there. I'm happy either way. So I'm mlloyd. I'm an artist. I make crazy colorful stuff, and today I'm actually planning to do a sort of repeating pattern. So I'm kind of excited about this one. It should be a bit of fun. And the reason I'm doing this, I kind of had a bit of inspiration today. I was looking at some of my older work, and this is actually a repeating pattern I made, God, how long ago was it now? Probably about 3-4 months ago. Kind of cool, but it basically was just a bunch of small lengthy abstracts, and I actually did all this on my phone. And today I was playing around with this website called Canvas, and it just allows you to put sort of seamless patterns into your into their shoes essentially. So you can make these really cool canvas shoes, which I did this morning, and I kind of like them. I think they're kind of neat. So I'm planning to do another one. It's funny, when the inspiration hits, it hits, and as a result, it tends to direct my art. And as a result, I'm going to make a crazy pattern like this again today, which I'm kind of excited by. So my goal is to make it colorful. My goal is to make it sort of fun and exciting. I'll be using 2 apps to do this. I'll be using my favorite app, which I use every stream, called Procreate. I just love its design. It's also an Australian product, so I feel a bit of patriotic loyalty whenever I use it. But also I'll be using another app actually, because there's one feature that isn't in Procreate that I absolutely love with this app, and it's like a seamless pattern generator. So the idea is, as I draw into it, it kind of creates a seamless pattern for me, so I don't have to sort of do all this heavy fiddling or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. And so to give you an example, in fact, what I'll probably make a template now. So I'll go 2000, actually no, let's see if I can go 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels. Let's see how that goes. Well, you know what? I'm going to be adventurous. I'm going to go 4000 pixels. Wow. I know, God, what a risk taker. Oh, that's what you're watching here. You're watching a risky dude, a risky artist. And so basically with this app, you can kind of draw these cool little things, and it creates a simple pattern for you. So it sort of mirrors everything, which is kind of neat. And so that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm actually going to be doing most of the drawing in Procreate, and then I'm going to sort of import it into this app. And the reason being is because this app is a little bit buggy, a little bit crashy, tends to crash all the time. And as cool as its features are, that can be a bit annoying at times. So I'm not really going to tolerate that too much. I'm just going to stick with Procreate and sort of import everything into this for the composition, for the organization. So before I do that, I'll just quickly share my website, so mlloydartist.com. And this is actually something I want to share, because a lot of the products I end up making end up going onto my website, so you can actually buy them as physical things. So if I go into here, there we go. So when you go to browse products, it shows you my product gallery. So I kind of consider my products to be a little bit like art pieces. So I got digital wallpapers, iPhone cases, backpacks. Usually everything I make goes into the live stream collection, so that might be the case today. But the reason I show you this is that if you at any point miss this stream for whatever reason, that's okay. You can actually catch up on YouTube. So you can hop on YouTube and you can see all the sketches that I've made on stream. So you can actually watch all the streams back. And I've been really diligent with my thumbnails. I'm quite proud of my thumbnails. I should get over it, but I don't know. It's cool. I think it's cool, and hopefully you do too. So let's pick our overlay. What should we do? Should I do triangles? No. Rainbow goo. Oh, let's do this one. Or did I do this last time? No, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's go to loose vein. I like loose vein. Loose vein is cool. I call it loose vein because it has a loose kind of a loose vein. It sort of wraps around things. But anyway, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to kind of sketch the just general composition of this thing. So I'm kind of going to draw some rough shapes, and these shapes aren't going to be too strict, but it's what I'll eventually sort of draw over the top with proper illustrations and colors and that kind of thing. And then we'll be able to sort of import that in. So I'm going to go, I want them to be kind of lengthy like the other one. So I'm thinking, but I also don't want them to be just straight lines like I did before. I want to improve on this. So I'm thinking of doing these kind of weird L shapes. So these look pretty rough and they look pretty terrible, let's be honest. But yeah, it'll give us an idea of how we want these things shaped. So I kind of like that pattern. That's interesting. Let's maybe go lengthways. We'll do like a weird horizontal like that. And maybe we'll go like this. And I'll just sort of keep twerking this. I think this little Y shape in the middle is a little bit too thick and a little bit too big. So I'm going to probably change that one. But what I'll do, rather than just change it, I'm going to kind of go like this. I'm going to make it a sort of S shape. And I'm going to go like that. So, ooh, there we go. Let's select an actual eraser. Oh, it's not liking that, is it? See what I mean? This app is super buggy. Won't even let me select an eraser. I suppose I could always select that later, but I might just do that in Procreate. But yeah, like I kind of like this shape. I think that kind of works. I might even go like this even. And so yeah, this kind of works. This is an interesting pattern. I think it will work. Yeah, let's stick with this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy this general pattern, just like, I'm going to do a screenshot actually, just like this. So I'm going to go like that. Oh, no. Let's take a screenshot. I'm feeling all sorts of awkward with this app. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so we got that. Now let's copy that. So I'm going to save it to my clipboard. There we go. And then I'm going to hop right on back into Procreate. So let's go to Procreate. And let's create a nice canvas. Ooh, what size should we do? Okay, let's go with that. And what we'll do, we'll go 3000 by 4000. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'm just sort of sticking with this because that's what I did before. Not that it's going to matter too much, it really isn't. So I'm going to go paste, because in the end, this pattern will always appear a little bit smaller than how I had it. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to try and get it nice and snapped. So I'm going to switch on snapping. There we go, it won't like that. And then I'm going to increase it. And remember, this is just going to be sort of like a rough sketch, a rough composition in a way. So if I go like this, and if you're a bit confused, that's okay. It'll make sense as we go. And I might make it a bit smaller. If I turn off snapping now, probably didn't need to press snapping at all, in all truthfulness. But now if I go like this, I just want to make sure I've got every shape in clear view, or to make sure every shape kind of fits. Very good. Okay, cool. That works all right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tidy up my little background picture here. I'm going to select this brush because it's a little bit thicker. There we go. And I'm going to delete the shapes that are sort of doubled up. But I'm going to try and keep them all together in a way. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to get rid of these just so it's not too distracting for myself, because I'm going to use, a lot of these will end up being a reference for other shapes so I don't collide with them all the time. So it gives me, it gives me a bit of, sort of gives me a target that I have to obtain. So like if I'm creating something within this shape, I know not to go too far this way because it might collide with that one in the actual pattern. So now that I've done that, let's go down. Let's actually add a layer. There we go. My vocabulary's gone to just nothing today. There we go. Let's improve that. So let's start sketching. I might even drop this back even more. There's a cool trick I can do here. Oh wow, look at what's going on there. If I make it really low, sometimes the capture can't even pick it up. So if I go like that, there we go. But I can still see it. So it's a weird little trick. Oh no, you can still see it too. Oh well, it was a good attempt. At least it'll look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so if I go like this, nope, it's still not going to work because I'm drawing in white. Let's draw in black, and let's go up here. And I'll just double check, is this all looking good? Yeah, that's looking okay. So now that I've got this guide, I can kind of sketch over the top. And yeah, hopefully it'll start looking really cool. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to draw in these shapes. They're going to be probably just a bit of random doodling. That's what I usually do in these streams. But yeah, let's figure it out. It might be, I don't know, some hard shapes like so. Or it could be something more organic like that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. So Melbourne is still in its 6th lockdown, and it doesn't look like this lockdown is going to end quite yet. There is a bit of hope at the end of the tunnel, as most people have got the right idea and they're sort of getting vaccinated. But it's been an interesting time for us over here. Things aren't as golden as they usually are in this city. But yeah, there's a bit of hope going around. And I'm booked in for my 2nd Pfizer vaccination, which I'm pretty happy about, pretty grateful for actually. A lot of people have been struggling to get their vaccinations, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Means I can kind of go to work, because I deal a lot with the public, and I don't have to worry too much. I'll be okay. So that's a nice sort of load off my mind. There we go. But yeah, as a result, I haven't really been doing all that much. So I haven't got a lot to talk about. I have been playing games. I'm a bit of a gamer. I don't play any games on stream, but I'm thinking of changing that. I do like the idea of playing a few weird, smaller games that no one really is playing anymore. Like, for example, one game I'm playing at the moment is Mafia 3. And I think it really got an unfair it got unfair reviews in my opinion. I think it's a bit of a underrated game. Sure, the graphics look a little bit weird. Especially some of the skylines in that game. They're really strange, and the colors just are like, whoa, what's going on there? And clouds just look weird. They just look bad, honestly, sometimes. But what I love about it is that it sort of just has one game mechanic, and it kind of does it pretty well, and it does it just relentlessly at you. And some people said that was a bit grindy and a bit boring, repetitive, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. And it's now reached the point where I've downloaded Mafia 2, so there's a bit of a discount happening on the PS Store, and I'm kind of excited to play that actually. Should be a bit of fun. I've never actually played it before, but people say that game's kind of the best in the trilogy, which is kind of neat. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm getting distracted. I'm talking about video games. This always happens every stream. I start talking about video games, and then I just get super distracted. I sort of started off with a circle, and I'm kind of evolving them out a little bit, growing them into some kind of weird tentacle thing. And it kind of works. It's not bad. I might clean this up a bit. I want that to sort of be elongated a little bit out further. Just like so. Usually it takes me, I've realized that during streams, I sort of have to warm up a little bit. So once I get going, I feel like I end up getting a bit better. Although let's see if that happens today. I haven't actually sketched for a while. It's funny, I say I haven't been up to much, but I actually have when I think about it. A lot of weird, just errands and things that I've had to do throughout the week that are quite important and have had to get done. But yeah, annoyingly, they're things I can't talk about either because they're kind of, I don't know, there's privacy rules around them, that kind of thing. But excited about some of them as well. They're nothing bad. Awesome. There we go. I'm not sure what to do in this section. I feel like it needs something. Maybe I will add some kind of element to it, or I could just draw a hole. If in doubt, always draw a hole, and then you can just go like this. It's a bit of a weird sheet thing, but it kind of works. And then you can add a bit of 3D shape to this as well by just going like so. Neat. So I've got a weird sketching style. I tend to see a little bit like of my illustrations kind of like sculpting. So I tend to sort of just erase things and continually refine them, sort of like sculpting lines in a sense. I kind of want to get into 3D sculpting apps. I sort of played around with one on the iPad, which, oh God, what's the name of it? Let's find out. Putty 3D. It's a bit of fun actually. So you can sort of go in and make these weird abstract shapes. And that's what I've been doing. A lot of people do like heads and faces of these, but I just sort of like trying to make the weirdest sort of thing. And then what I do is I sort of screenshot that and just and sort of draw things over it or manipulate sort of the colors. So I've been having a bit of fun with that kind of thing. But yeah, like I would like to get more into it. I want to be able to create really cool like characters like everyone else does. It's finding the time at the moment. That's sort of the weird thing for me because there's so many priorities. Definitely true. Because I do want to try and get my Twitch channel a little bit more popular as well. Let's go like that. I've been told to stream more, which is definitely true, but I feel like in the arts channel you really have to scroll down a lot to find me when I'm streaming. So as a result, I'm sort of looking at external ways to sort of promote my stuff as well. This line here is annoying me. I've got to find a way to get, I'm just going to erase it. I'm going to erase it and just start this line again because it's driving me up the wall. Let's go like that. Does that look better? Yeah, a little bit, kind of. I might even get the liquify tool in to sort of cheat a little bit and make it look a bit nicer. But yeah, I'm still kind of warming up. So relax. It's not all going to be this tedious and small. Small? Slow. Slow is the right word. Okay. So I kind of want every sort of blob that I did in the composition part of this to be a sort of continuous sort of thing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw another circle here. I might make sure that my lines match just like so. There we are. I'll have to smooth that one off. It's a bit sharp, but yeah, I'll get rid of this. Make that circle again. I like the idea of them kind of being like little octopus kind of things, but yeah, and they sort of join up in the middle. And that, yeah, I'm liking this. I think it's going somewhere. Hopefully it does. We'll see. But yeah, let's do this one. So I'm going to go like this. I might grab a thicker line as well. There we go. So it's sort of like tentacles kind of meeting up with each other. I'm even thinking of just adding a little swirl there for a bit of variance. And then, oh god, I've gone a bit off the beating track here. Yep, I've got the right brush. Lovely. I think I'm drawing too slow. I think that's my problem. I always tend to start off my sketches a little bit too cautiously, and for no reason. For no reason at all. When you're doing lines, you kind of want to be, you want to do these sort of quick and decisive actions, you know? It's all about the gestures. No, you know what? This is too long. I'll go like that. I might even go like this. We'll pretend there's one sort of behind the clump there. That's sort of poking around. Okay, let's go like this. One of the trickiest things about abstracts, or drawing abstracts, is that you kind of have to, when you're describing what you're doing, you're also kind of speaking in abstracts. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to draw the nose like this, because you're not drawing a nose. You're not really drawing anything that actually exists in the physical world. You're sort of making this stuff up. So you kind of use these weird, vague terminologies like tentacles and vines and spheres. And I suppose sphere is an actual thing. But yeah, it's one of those challenges I found as I started my stream that I didn't really predict. So yeah, when I started streaming, I didn't predict that just the language of describing what I'm doing is actually, it's a little bit more trickier than I thought it would be. Let's go like that. Cool. And then I shall remove this line. Let's see how that looks. So a lot of these lines will look a little bit rough, a little bit raw. But usually what I do is I sort of polish them up off stream. And so that's certainly a thing. And you know what, I'll use this time just to promote some of the other stuff I'm actually doing in other streams. So in the previous stream, I actually worked on this. So this is actually what I call a doodle blob. So every Friday I work on a doodle blob and I put that into a poster. And so the poster is actually looking really good now. It's looking like this. So I'm sort of not quite halfway, but yeah, the blobs are looking sick. I'm really excited to get started with that again. That's really cool. So every Friday night I do that. In the last week, I actually worked on what was sort of like a desktop background and an iPhone wallpaper. So that's this one. I'm not actually sold on the color scheme. I like keeping them sort of colorful. So I might revert back to a sort of multicolored kind of thing. But it was an interesting experiment. But yeah, like vertically it'll function as an iPhone wallpaper, and horizontally, no matter which way you have it, it should work as a good sort of Windows or Mac desktop background. So I'm looking forward to continuing that one. I might do that next week. Or I might do it this week. Depends on how many more streams I can more hours I suppose I can add to my streams. I've had a lot of weird errands, so I haven't really had the time I would have liked to dedicate normally. Let's go like this. And yeah, I'm trying to think of some cool way I can incorporate maybe a hole. And I'm thinking this is kind of cool. It'd be really cool if I do something like that. That's a really unusual shape. Yeah, so it's kind of weird this. I like it's sort of just one long vine and things are growing out of this portion of the vine. I like that. I like that shape. Haven't really tried that before. It kind of worked. I think it worked. Maybe we'll soon see. We'll soon see at the end. This could all go balls up. I say it every stream, but it's true. Okay, so that's coming close to filling this particular part of the composition. And we have Dr. O. Greetings, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, today I'm doing a repeating pattern. thus the name of this stream, which I already forgot, but it's something like a regularity in the world or something. I'm trying to come up with creative names for my streams, but I'm failing miserably. It's actually inspired by a piece I did a few months back, which I've actually put into some shoes. So it's actually this one. And so basically I just took a bunch of abstract shape. Yeah, another regularity in the world. That's very cool. And yeah, I'm putting them into shoes, which is kind of cool. I don't think I would ever wear these. I tend to have a more minimal kind of style, but I think some people out there might. I can see some people I know wearing these, which is kind of cool. But they're sort of a canvas shoe, and they're pretty neat actually. But yeah, earlier I sort of sketched out the rough composition of the pattern just in the app Infinite Painter. And now, if I can, I'm going to go back to Procreate and start filling them in. It's a little bit like that Doodle Blobs session I did on Friday, actually. It's kind of cool. But how are you, man? I hope you're doing well. Once again, I hope this lockdown is doing you fine. Okay. I might add a little circle here. Sort of like a little version of these two things. A baby tentacle beast. There we go. Sometimes I give my weird abstracts, I don't know, personalities in my mind. There we go. Another lockdown week and a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I know the feeling, dude. Although I was sort of saying earlier, like, I feel like I've done nothing, but I've actually done a fair amount. And a lot of things I can't even talk about, which is really frustrating. So, yeah, it's really frustrating. There's all these things I've done. I've had a super busy week, but there's sort of weird reasons why I can't talk about any of them. So that's annoying. So either it's to do with work or it's to do with my hunt for property, which I shouldn't talk about, but yeah, I am certainly doing that. Yeah, so it's interesting. But that's certainly a thing. Well, I hope good reasons. It is. Yeah, they're good reasons. They're reasons which will push me forward in life. Hopefully, that's the plan. We don't want them to be detrimental. Okay, let's move that one a little bit to the side, and I might elongate this blob a little bit, just like that. Wasn't liking how stubby it was, so I'm going to go just like that. And I might even embrace this a little bit. And I'll go like that. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Dr. O. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's a good excuse to catch up. There we go. I'm about to reach a pinnacle moment in my Instagram where I'm going to reach 300 followers on there, which is kind of cool. So in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've sort of gone from having, how many now? I think it went from 230 to 300. And so I tend to have a very simple marketing strategy of just chatting to people, chatting to people I don't know. And sometimes we connect and yeah, we share our art and it's kind of cool. So if you're watching this back and I've met you that way, yeah, feel free to say hello anytime you want. That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't done, because I was sort of talking about doing a Instagram advert to see if I have any success that way. And I haven't done that yet. I haven't posted it. But hopefully that won't be too long and hopefully it works. I want to become Insta famous and Twitch famous. That's my goal. And I'll be like all the cool kids. So I think that fits one of these shapes pretty well. I think it's now time to move on to a different part of the sketch. So I might go to this one. And they don't have to fit these kind of organic shapes. I might even make this one a bit inorganic, so to speak, because I feel like it should be. I want it to be sort of straight edge, a bit harsh, a bit more narrow. And I'll go like this, So I'm going to play with some straight lines here. And it might take a couple of goes, but let's see how it all works. So I'm going to use a feature known as polyline. Or no, sorry, not polyline. What do they call this? They call this quick shapes, I believe. I could be wrong. But yeah, it just allows you to sort of draw these sort of, I don't know, these multi sort of sided shapes really easily, because you can kind of manipulate it as you go. So I might try that. I'm not sure how this is going to look, but I like that. That kind of works for an exterior. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to add my first little bit of 3D-ness, which is totally a word, and never doubt me on this. And I'm going to try and kind of add some geometry to this. So let's see how it goes. Let's add a corner here. And I want this to be a really weird, really awkward kind of shape. I don't want to do just the standard, typical kind of rectangles and triangles that I always do. Let's try and see what happens if I join those up and go like that. It's ruined. It's completely ruined. We'll add that. And maybe... that's interesting. That kind of works. If I go like that, maybe... It's certainly interesting. It's an interesting shape. Maybe if I go like this. And maybe if I sort of go like this, I can make them look like they're a bit more connected. So I want it to be one really big 3D kind of shape. And maybe I'll do some sort of doodles in the interior of these sides here. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how we go. So I've been watching a new show called Foundation. And it's a show that's on, what's it called? What's it on? Apple TV Plus. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, it's got one of the most amazing production values I've seen for a science fiction show. Like some of the cinematography, the colors, just the imagery is just really insane. And it's got a pretty cool storyline. It's about this sort of mathematician that kind of predicts the future of the human species, and so it's set like in a very distant future. And basically he's predicted that all of mankind is going to basically disappear. So it sounds really cheerful, and I don't know, it's interesting, and yeah, you should definitely check it out. It's kind of cool. I like it. Let's hop on in there. Yeah, you know what? I think this shape is going a little bit off the rails. What I should do, you know what? Sometimes you have to just undo and try again. So I'm going to go back to a point where I was relatively happy with it. I'm going to go like that. I think that was good. And this time I'm going to go like, I'm going to keep playing around with the geometry of this. I'm going to see what we can do. So I'm going to go, well, I think I'm going to keep that line there. Or maybe let's try a different area of the shape. Let's go like this. And I might add a sort of weird curve. Curve? No, I don't know. I kind of want to create this effect that it's sort of bending inwards a little bit like that. And that'll be most likely more apparent when we get some shading into it. So if I do that, that'll probably work. So when we get some nice color, we can add some depth, and that'll give the impression that it's sort of folding at certain elements. Let's go like this. And then we will go like that. Yeah, this is very sort of, how do I put it? It's very free flowing. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. But I find that's also where I have the most fun with sketching, when it's not so, there's no rules. So that's kind of what you'd tend to get with my art streams. Okay, let's go like this. I'll go like that, I think, and then I'll add. Yeah, okay, this is kind of interesting. My goal is just to create a really interesting and really angular kind of shape. If I do that, then I will have succeeded. But yeah, I'm sort of, once again, I'm sort of struggling to find my bearings in this sketch. It's an interesting one. I feel like this one looks okay, and as I add more details, it'll become even better, hopefully. But hopefully we start getting some sense out of these objects. Yeah, it's starting to look a bit better, I think. Okay, now we got to try and make sense out of this section. So I'll go like this. And I will, should I do that? Yeah, that kind of works. It's going to become very angular indeed. And then I shall continue this line like that. So join that up there. And then what I'm going to do something really weird. Yeah, this is cool. A little bit of an overlap here. Yeah, now I'm starting to get in the rhythm of things. Cool. There we go. It's starting to make sense in my mind. There we go. So yeah, I was talking about Mafia 3, and like, I think it's got to be one of the most underrated games. It's really fun. Like, it is repetitive, but the thing I like about repetitive games is that if the gameplay is fun, you're just getting repetitive, fun gameplay. So I don't know what the complaint is, but it is kind of buggy at times. But it's a little bit like GTA in the sense that when it's buggy, it's kind of funny. Like one moment you'll just pull up next to a car and the car will just spontaneously explode, or you'll punch someone in the face and they'll just sort of fly through the wall and then sort of ragdoll around the room in a really weird way. And some people don't like that stuff, but I find it just really funny. So I don't know what people are complaining about. I think it's a cool game. And yeah, based on your recommendation as well, I actually downloaded Mafia 2 Dr. O. So I found there was actually a bit of a discount on the PlayStation Store. Oh, I've got a hair falling out of my scalp there. So I got it for like $15. So I thought, well, let's do it. Let's just do it. Cool. I'll go like that. It is, yeah, it is. I love those kind of games. I love where it just goes all bonkers and crazy. It's too much fun. Let's do... I feel like I'm struggling with the way that this area here connects to this part of the shape. Yeah, I hope I do. I'm certain I will actually. If Mafia 3 is considered a weak game in comparison to this, then I can't see myself not enjoying it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get started with it actually. It should be a bit of fun. But yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing with my very little downtime that I'm finding for myself at the moment. But yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be fun. Let's have a look. If I go like that, does that look cool or does that look janky and weird? What if I go like that? Ooh. Oh, I think I just did something there inadvertently, which I kind of liked. That kind of works. It's weird, but it kind of works. There's only one shape that doesn't, and it's this one here. So if I go like this, maybe. I spent so much time on this shape now, haven't I? Let's try and just get it done. Let's go like this. We'll go like that. Nope, we won't do that. I'm spending an ungodly amount of time on this one shape, and I can't imagine it's the best viewing, but maybe I should return to it later. Let's go like this. We'll add it to this side part here. But what I like about this style of kind of drawing is that you sort of end up coming up with shapes and forms that you would never have come up with earlier. So it can be kind of fun. Okay, let's try. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of this line. I'm going to disconnect them a little bit because that'll help me out. So I'm going to go like that. Then I'll have to clean up some of these lines at one point. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later when I get some of these extra shapes in. This may be a multi-part stream as well, so we'll see how we go. A multi-stream artwork. There we go. Language is getting lost. It's getting lost in lockdown. This is a truth. Okay, let's go like that. Yeah, I haven't actually really done a lot of artwork this week, so I think that's why I'm feeling really rusty. I think it's also a reason why I should start doing more regular streams, because this is kind of when I do the majority of my art now, is just when I'm doing streams. So I think that's something worth exploring. So I'm trying to think of good times. So I was going to do Tuesday night actually, because I don't really do a lot there. So that might be worth it. But yeah, this is starting to make a bit more sense now. And what I'll do, I'll bridge these together with maybe something like that. Let's see. Yeah, that kind of works. I like that. Cool. I'm finally satisfied with this really weird blocky thing that I've done. Thank you for tolerating that. Sometimes my sketches they need a bit more time, but that's okay. Sometimes art's like that. Sometimes you just need to kind of push forward with it. Let's focus on a different shape. I'll start filling in some details as we go. I might do that after an intermission. Who knows? But this time I want to do something relatively simple. I want to try and do this one kind of quickly and see what we can do. So I've drawn just a sort of smooth, roundish kind of circle there. And I'm going to add some things inside it. So I'm going to add like a circle. Maybe I'll alter that shape just a bit. No, I won't do that. I'll go, for fear of it being rude, I won't do that. But might turn it into a cylinder. Okay, let's copy that one. We'll paste it. This is just a quick way of doing cylinders. And I'll remove that line like so. So let's copy these. Let's see what happens if I do that. First of all, I'll merge this layer down a bit like that. And we'll copy this little cylinder and we'll paste it again. I want them sort of coming out at different angles. I might even have them poking out a little bit like so. And if I distort it, I can kind of make it look like it's a little bit more in perspective. Oh, we got Oroyuka. Good to see you, my friend. mlloyd. Good to see you again. I can't wait. I can't stay for long. My Wi-Fi is pretty crappy. That is okay, dude. I'm thankful for you being here. That's really cool. How have you been? I hope you've been well. I saw your post today with the that really cool horse. I admired the armor on it, actually. The armor on the head was really sick and nicely done. It's a very cool style you've got going on there, dude. I should try and catch some of your streams. I haven't been able to find the time to do that kind of stuff. I've been super busy. But yeah, like I'm super excited to see your stuff. Should be fun. Let's have a look. I'll go like that. No, I'll distort this one as well, actually. I might just pull that back a bit. So I'm sort of creating this blob now. It's a little bit like a doodle blob session. It's like a mini doodle blob. Well, indeed, I've been busy procrastinating too. Yeah, I think I've been... Yeah, it's funny. I say procrastinate. I actually haven't. I've been pretty good. I've been pretty diligent with myself. But just a lot of things that have sort of taken me away from my art. So in this stream in particular, I find myself trying to get back into the rhythm of things. But I don't know. Yeah, I've been struggling. Like for the past probably a good 20-30 minutes, I was trying to build this, and it just sort of took me a lot longer than I thought. It's kind of funny. Hopefully I'm starting to get in my stride a bit more now. But let's see how we go. I might create a few more of these things. So what I'm doing, by the way, if you're interested, I'm actually doing a repeating pattern. So I sort of sketched this thing earlier in an app called Infinite Painter. Definitely recommend it. It's got this cool seamless pattern generator kind of thing. And then I went into, that's right. Then I actually grabbed, yeah, well, it's actually inspired from this one. So I made this like a couple of months ago, and it's just sort of similar to what I'm doing now. It's just a bunch of sort of abstract shapes. And I sort of put them into this website called Canvas, where you can kind of buy shoes, and the artwork's all designed by artists. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing another pattern for this shoe thing because it's kind of cool. It might not go on shoes, actually. It might go on something else, but that's kind of what inspired me today to do a repeating seamless pattern, because they're just a bit of fun. I like that design. But yeah, it looks cool when it's on like an actual object. It's funny. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do today. So I think I've put a little bit more detail into these sort of abstract shapes than I did with the other one. But that's okay. That's cool. Maybe that's a good thing. It just means that at the end I'll get a completely different artwork. Let's go like that. Yeah, these are becoming sort of pipes, I think. I think that kind of seems a bit better. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Have you done masks? I haven't done masks. I have considered it actually, because masks, they're really easy to make. And yeah, like it's sort of something I've been thinking of doing for a while, but for some reason I never got around to it. And I think I may have missed the opportunity there. I should have done it a couple of months ago, and I probably would have sold a fair few, I think. But yeah, I should do it. You know what? Maybe I'll try this out in a mask. I think you've inspired me. I will do that. You know what? I'm going to try it out on a mask, because I definitely have like a place I can get those things manufactured, which is cool. So I should just do it. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll try doing it on masks. Sounds like fun. I keep telling myself I should make a mask. I feel like the problem with masks is that they're so small. All my art tends to be a little bit too big. So as a result, I kind of they kind of don't look very good. But if I do a more simplistic artwork, maybe that could go on a mask. Let's have a look. I'm going to make this a little bit more, I don't know, blobby. Let's find out. Let's see what happens to it. But yeah, I should do masks. That's a good idea, actually. I might see how this one looks as a mask. You've inspired me. Yeah, I like that actually. I like this weird sort of curvature thing I've got going on here. I might try that again. Before I do though, I'm going to grab one of... I'm actually going to merge these. No, I'm going to copy this one, duplicate it. Then I'm going to copy it and move it just... Oh, what happened then? Let's do that again. We'll grab that. There we go. And we'll move that just over here. I might make it a bit smaller to give it a bit of... Put a bit of detail into this piece, I think. I might change the perspective of it using the distort tool. Cheating a bit here, but that's okay. It's the beauty of digital illustration. You can just cheat to your heart's content and you can quickly generate stuff. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. I didn't want this just being another doodle blob stream. I want it to be something a little bit more, I don't know, something more, I suppose. Something where I end up creating more stuff. But yes, let's try that. My language has truly gone out the window, I feel, in these last couple of months. I wonder if it's just me. It could just be me. But I feel like that's the effect of lockdown. I feel like I'm slowly starting to lose my language. There we go. There we go. I hope everyone in Melbourne is in the same boat where they're just slowly losing their vocabulary. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like because I haven't had to use it as much. There we go. Let's see how that goes. That's interesting. I might curve that one a bit round like that. There we go. There's actually this weird thing that's occurred with this sketch. You might be able to see it on the capture, but some of my lines seem to be a slightly lighter color than other parts. And I actually have no idea why. It's like maybe I had the opacity turned down on my brush when I was doing this sketch earlier. I don't know. I didn't notice it, that's for sure, until just now. But yeah, some of my lines are actually a lot darker than others. The Apple Pencil is out. That's it. It's out of battery, so it's not going as hard. Yeah, it is really strange. It's actually not a big issue though, because there's this little trick that I often use to overcome it, where once I've finished all the layers, I just sort of merge them together. And then I use a gradient map, and that kind of just changes the color of it to be more consistent. So it's a good little trick. If you ever find yourself in that dilemma, it's not the end of the world. It's really simple to fix. There's even another really simple one. In fact, I'll do it now. This is actually probably an even easier way of fixing the problem. What you do is you do alpha lock. So if I go to alpha lock on this layer like that, so now I can just go to the deepest of blacks. So that's actually another cool trick. If I double tap this wheel here, it goes to the darkest black. So that's kind of neat. And then if I go to a big ass brush here, I've got big color. That's what I call it. And I'll make it as big as possible. I can kind of just go, oh, that didn't work the way that I planned actually. That is peculiar. Why is that happening? Now I'm completely confused. I was so sure that was going to work, but apparently not. I wonder indeed. Wow, I'm so confused about that. Maybe it's because I merged them and one was maybe a different opacity or something. God, how confusing. And I was actually really sure that that trick I was going to try then was actually going to work. Well, I've made a fool of myself. Cannot unsee. No, I can't unsee it now either. But what a strange thing. That's really unusual. I wonder what it is. because it should be a fact where I can just go like this and it will eventually make them the same color, but not. That's okay. I'll go to the original method. I'll go to hue, saturation, and brightness, and I'll make them. No, that's not working either. Wow, this is interesting. Wow, I can make it more pronounced, but I can't. What is going on there? That is so confusing. I wonder what it is. That's really unusual. I'll get over it. I suspect it's got something to do with opacity. So I wonder if if I merge these things, if I just duplicate it and merge it again and again. That seems to have fixed it, actually. That was really weird. Yeah, so there you go. I think that's fixed it. So by simply duplicating the thing a couple of times and merging them together, that seemed to have fixed the problem. But that was interesting. I wonder what on earth I did then. I should watch this back and figure it out. I bet you I had like one of the layers on like a lower opacity. I didn't realize it. And then I sort of merged them together so that that part sort of kept its opacity. I think that's what would have happened. Hard to say though. Let's create a circle like that. I feel like this space is a little bit too empty. We'll see. Does that look cool? It looks, I don't know. Maybe there's too many circles. I think I might get rid of that actually. You know what? I'm going to add a triangle because I know that's what Dr. O is thinking. He's thinking this piece needs a triangle, and he's right. It does. Absolutely needs a triangle. Let's go like that. Good question. So Dr. Rose asked, has that happened before where you've noticed something not quite right, but you've already finished it? Yeah, it has happened, but a lot of these things are easily repairable. And sometimes they're not easily repairable, but what you can often do is just kind of, you can kind of trace over it in a way. So I'm trying to think of a good name for that, but basically once it's all sort of, this is a sort of a music term I'm using here, once it's bounced down or merged down into a single sort of image, you can kind of put it into another project and then sort of redraw certain parts that aren't quite the way that you want them. So that's sort of if everything goes to shit, you can kind of do that. And it still kind of works. So nothing is ever really set in stone too badly. So it's a thing. But it's also, yeah, so it's not really the end of the world if you don't get it right away. It is kind of the end of the world if you've actually sold a product and then after you've sold it and you've actually discovered, oh, hang on, that thing is completely wrong. Or that line doesn't connect, because once you've sold it and once it's actually been made into a physical thing, you can't really undo that. It's never happened to me yet, but that's the only sort of time where it would affect me, I suppose, as a digital artist, if an actual physical product has been printed and maybe someone's bought it and then I realize it's a mistake. I can always update that product, but I can't sort of fix the product that's already been sent out, so to speak. But that's probably the worst case scenario, I think, with digital illustration, because everything's essentially pretty repairable. But good question. Good question. Yeah, that's true. And I am lucky that I work digitally in many respects. Okay, let's have a look. So I sort of just did a quick one here. I might add a few dots for, I don't know, depth, grain. I like adding dots to things. It's a common technique I use, but it sort of works. Does a job. Okay, so I've got like this weird angular thing. I've got this cool shape here. There's actually only, now that I think about it, there's only 2 more shapes I actually need to do. And then basically I'll just add a few more details to those. I'll color them in, and it should end up being a repeating pattern. Oh, I've run out of water. There we go. I'll introduce my next glass. There we go. I still need to invest in a water bottle, a proper water bottle. Okay, this one I kind of want to be angular again because it's close to a very organic thing. But I'm going to keep this one a bit more simple. Rather than doing that polyline thing, I'm just going to create a more simplified shape. And yes, because it does need more triangles, Dr. O, we're going to start off with a triangle. And we're going to copy that triangle actually. Copy, we're going to go paste. Oh no, that was wrong. We'll go copy, then we'll go paste. Very good. And that should be in a new layer now. I'm going to reduce the size of that. Add another layer on top. Add the connecting lines. I might make it a slightly smaller brush size. Just like that. There's this really cool feature coming in Procreate where it actually remembers the brush sizes that you use, which is really cool. I'm waiting for a feature where you can actually make the brush size sort of change and go down as you, like you can start off large and then go to a smaller one in a single stroke. But that's probably a feature that won't be coming for a while. It's probably a little bit too advanced. You see it more in sort of vector illustration apps. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't mind that. This is okay. I don't want to just add another hole to this triangle. I want to make it a little bit different. So I'm going to make it a little bit like a V shape actually. So it's actually not a triangle at all now, is it? There we go, cool. Does it count as a triangle if it doesn't have like one flat side? Maybe it doesn't. I think this is it's moved beyond a triangle. It's a Toblerone, yeah. It is a Toblerone, isn't it? I could actually make it more of a Toblerone if I wanted to. Yeah, actually that would be kind of cool. So if I go like this, you've inspired me. You've inspired me again. Let's go like this. And we'll go, I'm trying to remember how Toblerones look. I'm struggling. How do they look? They go like this, don't they? And then there's a little thing there. And then it's sort of like that, I think. And I could just keep doing that actually. Okay, well I did not think the sketch was going to go in this direction, but I like it. It's going there. It's going in that direction. It actually looks kind of cool. It's probably a shape I would not have done before actually. I should try and get a bit more consistency in these lines actually. I'll make that a bit thicker. So I realize everyone's playing this game at the moment. What's it called? Like New Dawn or something? Or I can't remember what it's called, like New Frontier or something. And it's kind of New World, that's the one. Very cool. Thank you, Dr. O. I don't know what if this is my kind of game. It looks a bit too RPG for me. RPG, is that the right word? I don't know. It looks a bit kind of grindy for my kind of thing, but it feels like everyone's just sort of hanging around on cue screens. Sure, it's not like that every single game. Maybe it's just a launch thing. But yeah, another streamer who is a close friend of mine, the great Spicy Orange. I remember sort of tuning into his stream like a couple of times last night, and he was just sitting in this queue, just chatting with people. And I was like, what on earth? Why do people watch this? But yeah, there you go. That was a thing. That was a thing that people were doing. Tried watching a streamer today play it, but yeah, it's not my kind of game. Yeah, it's weird. I saw someone play the beta version, and throughout that entire game, they just seemed to be killing rabbits, and that was basically it. Okay, I'm getting kind of bored of this Toblerone, so I'm going to kind of try and finish it off a bit quickly. Let's go like that. Okay, it's not quite a strict Toblerone, is it? It's sort of Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of a bit warped, and some of the pieces a little bit different shapes. They were chopping down trees for an hour. Yeah, it looks like one of those games. It looks really grindy. I don't know why people are so excited by it, but hmm, each to their own, I guess. Each to their own. Okay, let's hop on in here. I'll go like that. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like I've been struggling to draw this stream for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just sort of. I think I haven't done a lot of drawing at all this week. I think the last time I actually picked up my Apple Pencil and started drawing was when I was doing those doodle blobs on Friday, which I really enjoy. I still love doing those doodle blobs. They're just a lot of fun. I'm glad that's sort of become a weekly thing of mine. That wasn't initially the plan when I started streaming, but I think it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of works. Do I want to keep that? No, I won't do that. But I will create some detail maybe later on in the sketch. Are these lines the same? I don't think they are. Let's have a look. I'm kind of going a bit off here. That line's okay. This line is off. There we go. That's what's bothering me. Let's try and keep that one nice and straight as well. There we go. And let's repair some of these lines a bit because it looks a bit dodgy at the moment. There we go. Yeah, I don't know about you, but chopping down wood for an hour, it's not my kind of game. I need a little bit more excitement, I think. I've done a little bit too much wood chopping in my life, in reality, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's put me off wood chopping in video games. Okay, let's go. I want to do something weird with this shape because it sort of needs to bend down a bit because the actual shape I'm trying to adhere to for the composition looks a little bit like that. So what I could do, I could maybe go, oh no, let's try and keep some consistency with the lines. I'm definitely going to need to polish off this sketch, maybe off stream or something, because it's going a little bit crazy. But yeah, let's try this. We'll draw a little triangle here. And we'll sort of edit that. Like so. And we'll see what the shape looks like when I go like this. No, I don't like it. It's kind of weird. You know what? Let's add a cylinder this time. And they're not going to be strictly connected. In fact, I might even grab this cylinder and I'll distort it just a little bit like that. And then I'll grab that. I'll give it a copy, give it a paste, and I shall minimize it just a little bit. So I'm sort of doing the same trick that I did with the Toblerone. I never played WoW or RuneScape as a kid, so maybe that's why. No, I never played those games either. I couldn't get into World of Warcraft. I don't know. I mean, I never really tried playing it, but I certainly watched other people play it over the years, and because people kept trying to get me into it, and I'd sort of watch people and I'd sort of smile and nod and go, yeah, that looks really cool, yeah, I can see why you like this, but I couldn't see why they liked it at all. It was just kind of weird. But yeah, some people absolutely love WoW, and I admittedly don't know a lot about RuneScape at all. Actually, I don't think I've even seen that game. I think it is kind of the same thing though. You're definitely right. Let's have a look. I shall add a little bit of complication to this shape. I'll add a little, sort of like an indent. It's like a pie, like a big cheese wheel. And what I can do actually, I'll go back to that original circle, which I think is here. There we go. I'll find that triangle again. I'll copy that one as well. My layers are becoming a bit of a disorganized mess here, but that's okay. And I'll minimize it just a tad. It's in uniform at the moment, so it should adhere to the right scale. And so now, if I go like this, it sort of gives me a target to reach for. I think that's a little bit too, I think I moved the triangle a little bit too far inwards, but that's okay. I can kind of just manually fix that. And then I'll get rid of this circle part. Is that the right one? Nope, different one. There we go. Cool. So yeah, it's like a cheese wheel and a Toblerone. There you go. Who would have known that these things were like that? I've actually got a really cool idea with these two things. I want to connect them in some way. So I'm going to merge them together. And I'm going to have like a vine that sort of connects them and wraps them together. I think that's a cool idea. So I'm going to add that in a different layer. And it's going to be like so. Ooh, let's get that right. Okay, what's not working here? Well, look. So I need somewhere for the vine to take off. I think if I go sort of upwards a little bit, so if I just remove this line there, very good. I can then kind of reach it up a little bit. Let's try that. No, you know what? I'll stick with that. And then I'll have it go around the behind, I think. Yeah, this is kind of the right direction, I think. And then I'll have the tentacle sort of slipping in between these two Toblerones. I love how that's just what it's become now. It's just become a Toblerone. Let's go like that. Struggling to get this little vine right as well. Yeah, it's a very choppy illustration tonight, so bear with me on that one, but it's slowly come together. Let's try getting rid of these lines like that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's something. That kind of looks like a pretty cool thing, I think. It's certainly weird. It's got that going for it. I think as I add more details and maybe a little bit of lineage, it'll start to look a bit better. But yeah, it's coming together. There's only one more shape I need to fill in, so I'll quickly do this one. And for this, what should I do? Let's create... I can't decide if I want it to be organic or a little bit more straight. Let's do something a little bit experimental. Let's go Procreate Pencil. I'm going to just kind of... I don't know, I'm going to kind of do this the traditional method. So I'm going to kind of go like this. I'm going to try and... Sometimes I like to try and challenge the way that I think about things. So I sort of create like a basic sort of formula. And yeah, I try to build off that. So let's see. If I go like this, I can kind of make a, I don't know, a sort of very science fiction-y kind of collection of shapes. I think that's what I'm going for. Okay, let's see how that kind of works out. This could be an utter disaster, but it could be cool. So let's lower the opacity there. We'll add another layer on top and we'll begin sort of sketching a final outline to that. Oh God, I'm burping like a madman. How disgusting. This is what you came on for though, isn't it? It's sort of the ASMR quality of my videos. Just hearing this this weird dude burp into the microphone constantly. Okay, let's go like that. So a few other games I've been playing, they're sort of just regular games actually. One game is called Brawlhalla. So it's sort of like a fighting game, a little bit similar to, it's actually very similar to Super Smash Brothers. But it can be known for having a bit of a toxic kind of community. So it's one of those games I'm not super inclined to recommend to a lot of people. Because it just gets me riled up. There's not many games like that that really get me riled up so much, but that one does. So definitely with that, I'd heed caution. If you find yourself to be a guy or a girl, if you find yourself at risk of getting frustrated easily, I'd probably avoid this one because you'll just get super annoyed at people. If you're like me, that is. But yeah, there's a lot of taunts in that game. I feel like when a game developer puts taunts into a game, they inevitably sort of encourage a sort of toxic kind of community because people are going to use them. If they exist, people are going to use those taunts. And yeah, once one person starts taunting, they get angry, right? And then they start taunting in front of other people because their sort of anger starts shifting to others, I think. And that's how I think toxic kind of game communities kind of start. It's sort of like a viral thing. Once one person starts doing it, it kind of starts, I don't know, spreading, really. I like this, actually. I think this is an interesting thing. I don't usually approach sketches like this, but yeah, once I do this shape, I'll move on to adding some more sort of illustrated details, and then I will add some color, I think. And it might be one of those things, I once again, I might not finish it on stream, but I probably won't do another stream finishing it off. I'll probably just finish it off stream and see how we go. I might actually do that in the other layer on top there, so it'll be easier to erase certain components later. So let's go into this shape and we'll get rid of that part of the triangle, that pyramid part. Okay, let's have a look. It's certainly a weird shape I've made there, but I don't know, it kind of works. Let's get rid of the background because that's just going to distract me now, and we'll start polishing off a few of these lines, I think. Lovely. Very cool. And I'll probably go to an intermission relatively shortly, I think. just to get some more water. Charge my pencil because that's actually running out. That's easily charged back up. Cool thing about pencils is that they don't actually take that much time to charge because there's relatively small batteries inside them. So yeah, if you ever run out, it's not something to worry about. Don't stress. Just plug it in for a few moments. Really easy. There we go. I might merge all these now that I'm actually. So as soon as you start struggling to find the right layer to erase things from, that's sort of the time I begin remerging everything. Because the time you spend doing that can get kind of frustrating too. So yeah, it's Fall Guys as well. So what I've been playing is Mafia 3, Brawlhalla, and I've been sort of on and off Fall Guys for the last couple of last maybe 2 months. I'm kind of into that game. Fall Guys is probably the least toxic multiplayer game I've ever played because there's not a lot you can do, which is really, I don't know, it's got such a cool kind of charm to it, I think. And the levels are always changing, you know. So every couple of months they sort of do a big update. I miss Fall Guys. Yeah, like we should play again, dude. Yeah. Maybe I'll tell you next time I'm on. And we should maybe schedule a time or something, because I remember you were really good at Fall Guys. I remember you used to like just, I wonder how many crowns you ended up on. You had probably like 90 crowns or something. They've got this really cool mode called squad mode, so you can actually get like 4 people together, and you can actually compete as a squad. So if you lose in a match, there's a chance you're still in it because your other people can kind of get back in. And I do like the levels they've introduced. They've introduced some really cool level design recently. 110 wins in season 1. Crikey. Oh yeah, dude, if you haven't done season like 3 or 4, like you should pick it up again. You might really enjoy it. Like it's because they've added so much stuff to it in just like the last year. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we should organize a time to play it. That'll be super cool. That'll be super cool. Like a blast to the past. I'm sure Spinsy will be down as well. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a quick intermission. And I shall then fill up my drinks. I shall... Oh, I need to do that actually. I will... Yeah, you're down? That's cool. Yeah, we should do it. It's a bit of fun. Be a good way to sort of connect over voice as opposed to just over chat. Over that kind of chat. I'm losing my vocabulary. It's official. It's definitely happened. I'm now resorting to dumb gestures like this. So when I come back, I'll fill in some of this with some sort of finer details, probably a few more kind of lines and textures to the overall piece. I'm charging my pencil as we speak, which is cool. And then I shall add some color to it, and we'll see how it looks as a pattern. It might look utterly terrible. Patterns can be like that. Sometimes you put it all together and it's like, oh god, that didn't really quite work the way I'd expected it to. So we'll soon find out. It'll be sort of the thing that keeps us in suspense, I suppose. But yeah, I'll have a quick intermission and I shall be back very shortly. And I'm back, ready to go. Let's do it. I actually there was something really cool I wanted to try and procreate that I saw, oddly enough, on TikTok, because that's apparently where I learn things now. Um, it's actually this cool thing where you can actually drag images into your palette section, and it actually gets all the colors from that image, which is kind of cool. So I might actually try that out now. Oh, here we go. New from photos, new from file. But I'm going to try this out. So what I've done is I just sort of did a really basic, I say Google search. It's not Google at all. It's actually another search thing called DuckDuckGo. It's said to be more private. But yeah, the idea is if I drag a photo like this, that's just orange and blue. I might try something a bit different. Let's go, I want something a bit more fun, a bit more interesting. This is, yeah, it's kind of boring. The hard part is finding an abstract that you actually like, something that you like the colors of. I feel like the stuff I find on Instagram tends to be better. Let's have a look. So I sort of just typed in colorful abstract, and I was kind of curious where that would take me. But let's try. They're all kind of the same, aren't they? Let's try this one. I'm going to drag that, and I'm going to drag it into here. And look at that. It's actually created a kind of color palette. So that actually works. That's really neat. So I'm sort of stealing someone's color palette there. So hopefully they don't mind. Wonder what this one's like. That looks a bit more fun. Yeah, I like that one actually. I'm going to stick with that. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that inspires me somewhat. So it might not. It might actually go totally against my favor. But yeah, now I'm going to start coloring things in. Actually, I decided I was going to color it in first and then add the details later. Just for the sake of variety, I think that might be kind of cool. So I'm going to bring up that color palette. There we go. And let's add some in. Let's go, we'll make this line layer our reference layer. Yeah, it is kind of cool, isn't it? It's interesting. I've never tried it before, so hopefully it sort of inspires some new ideas, I think. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to drag that in. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's try that again. Okay, cool. There's actually another thing I've been meaning to try it as well, where you can go like this. And it means rather than always going from the corner, you can just kind of go from this palette. You can just kind of drop them in. So let's try that. We'll go a darker color. Oh God, there we go. Like that. Nope, that didn't quite work. There we go. So you have to be kind of purposeful with your dropping, apparently. Maybe that's what my possums are saying every single time they leave their droppings all over my house. Maybe. Let's go like that. Ooh. You know what? This isn't quite working the way I expected it to. Let's go like that. I know this works, so I'll just do that. Cool. Okay. And I think the Procreate team need to do a bit of work on that one, actually. There you go. I think I can forgive them. Okay, that kind of works. Let's go to something a bit more like orange, I suppose, for this leaf. Fine, there we go. Yep, language has well and truly gone out the window. I should call this stream Lloydie loses language and tries to speak again. That's what it should be called. Let's make this one a sort of weird burgundy color. I'm trying not to think too much about colors, which is kind of an exercise in itself, I find. Hopefully it breeds some interesting results. So I'm in this color palette, I'm noticing there's a lot of sort of magenta, a lot of blue, and a lot of like oranges. So I'm trying to sort of separate those elements a bit in this thing. Very English, yeah. Very English indeed. Z. Let's go Let's go a purple color for this one. Oop. Pop that in like that. Oh, that was quick. That didn't take long at all. And let's go to maybe a beigey kind of color. There was someone, I can't remember who it was, and they were saying, they were complaining about beige, and they were like, beige apparently gets the name, it's apparently French for like that color that exists under a sheep's wool, you know, that sort of under part of a sheep where it's basically just dirt. So basically, beige is basically just the shit that accumulates on a sheep's wool or something ridiculous like that. I don't know how true that is. I might have completely botched up that definition of it, but I don't know. It could be true. It sounds like the type of thing that's so ridiculous that it could actually be true, and also kind of believable. Yeah, it's not so ridiculous actually when you think about it, is it? I can completely see. That's where the name beige would have probably come from. Okay, what am I going to do in this one? I think if I grab that, I think that's a darker color. Yeah, it is. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, let's mix a few colors here. Let's go an orange. Let's pop it at the top there, and I'll pop an orange in the top of this one. I like the idea of keeping the top of this orange for some reason. Not too orange though. Let's go a slightly lighter orange for this part here. Is it the same color? I think I just put the same color down. There you go. It's that time of night, ladies and gents. I am completely losing it. Let's grab this color. We'll pop that in there. We'll grab that. And we'll probably grab a different color here. Nah, that doesn't work. We'll go this color again. We might grab a you know what, I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to grab a blue. I'm going to grab a lighter blue and sort of put that in between. I'll then grab this color, pop it in there. I'll do it again. And I'm going to add some sort of shading and some depth to these images to sort of give it a bit of, I don't know, depth, I suppose. I'm not sure how I'm liking this color scheme now that I've actually used it. It's a very strange color scheme indeed. Maybe I should be putting more thought into the actual colors rather than just sort of just dropping them in willy-nilly without any real thought. But I don't know, it's kind of fun as well. You know, I might go a lighter orange, and I'll go a dark orange for the side. Even darker orange for the middle. There we go. For this, I will color that in like so. Neat, and I'll try and keep these colors a little bit more consistent. I feel like this little blob with the cylinders actually probably looks the best out of the rest of the image. Maybe it's just because it's a little bit more simpler. I don't know. You got to try new things though. If you don't try new things, you'll always make the same stuff. And oop, let's go like that. Oop. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So now that I've done that, I've got a few more colors to do actually, don't I? Might go with more vibrant blue, I think. This little blob in the corner. Will I do that or will I do it here? I shall do it here, I think. And I'll go a slightly lighter color for this half of it. And even darker color for the very ends. And I might just go like, I'll add a bit of alpha lock just for now. There we go. So I'll eventually do that probably with a lot more of them, I think. So, oh, there we go. I keep doing that. I keep resting my sort of palm or the side of my fist on the home button there. If I flip it around like so, there you go. We'll do a good old flipperoo. See if that works. That was weird. It's funny how I flipped the whole thing around and then I flipped the operating system but the artwork stayed on the same orientation. That's really strange. But what can you do? We got one more thing to colour in. I might sort of borrow... which colour should I use? Let's go this... might go this brown colour here. Oop, nope, that didn't quite work. Let's try that again. That's because I got alpha lock switched on. Cool. And so I'm going to merge these together. So now I've got my sort of colours in here, and they look weird as heck. Certainly not the colours I would have normally chosen. But I think that kind of, to me, that's kind of exciting because it's sort of, it means that as I'm making this pattern, it's just going to look completely, I don't know, it's going to be completely different. Sometimes using like really, I suppose, vibrant colors across the entire board. With patterns, they don't tend to work as well. You need some kind of uniformity to make it look nice. So hopefully this provides it with that. We'll soon see. I'm also thinking that this little blue here is a little bit too vibrant. I want to use this blue, I think. So I'm going to go like that. And then with the background, I have no idea which color I'll use. I might even pick a completely different color. I could pick something like green. Ooh, no, I won't do that. But I do like this blue actually. Oh, speaking of color, we've got the master of color here in the chat, and we got Spins114. How art thou, my friend? Very cool. Just got your message, which I won't share on stream, but that's super awesome. Well done, congratulations. Yeah, me and Dr. A are actually thinking of doing like a Fall Guys session, because I was sort of mentioning him to him. It's actually had all these cool little updates, and you can do squads now, which is really fun. So you can kind of play as a team, which is cool. So if you're down for that, you're definitely invited. But yeah, congratulations, Spins. I won't share what that is on stream, but that's super awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, let me know when. That's cool. I will. I'll create a group message and we'll organize it together. But yeah, whatever time's good for you. I'm pretty much free all the time. So yeah, this here, by the way, is just for Spinsy, this is a repeating pattern that is kind of, it's weird. I'll give it that. It's a really weird pattern. But yeah, I sort of started off making these sort of weird abstract shapes. And to get this color, by the way, what I did, I might even show you that again, because you'll dig this if you're into colors and sort of finding cool combinations, because I usually use an app called Coolers. But what I did here, I created a palette from dragging an image in, and I've never done that before. I had no idea it was a feature. Learnt it on TikTok, because that's where I learn things now. Abstract, let's go abstract art. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, you can just sort of grab any image and you can just drag it into your palette section, and it actually aggregates an entire color palette for you. I had no idea that was a thing until just now, but that's a thing. So yeah, TikTok is the future of education. I agree. You know what? Short bursts of addictive little behavioral education makes a lot of sense to me. I can't fault that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some, I think I'm going to add some more lines. So, because it doesn't have a lot of detail, this sketch. So I'm going to go into these lines here. I'm sort of playing around with my formula, because usually what I do is I sketch the main shape and then I add the details in, and then I kind of I add the shapes secondary. but this time I don't know, I was feeling colourful for a moment there. I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to actually add the colours first, or the base colours at least, and then I'll add some of the details and the depth to these shapes as we go. So hopefully this sketch will actually start coming together a bit now, which is really cool. Okay, let's go like this. But yeah, have you been up to much, Spinsy? I can imagine you're probably in the same boat as me and Dr. O here, where you're basically just maybe stuck at home, or maybe you're at work. Maybe you're doing a little bit more than I am. But yeah, I hope you're doing well in this lockdown. There we go. Okay, let's go like that. So I'm just sort of adding some rough, I say rough, they're actually they're not bad actually. I should give myself more credit. These lines are looking superb. They're not much, but they do the job. There we go. I probably could have lowered the brush size a bit, but oh well. I actually left the house today and, so Spinsy says, I'm in store most days, I work, that's cool. And Dr. O is saying, I actually left the house today, I felt accomplished. Yeah, I'm kind of in that stage myself. I don't leave the house often as I would like, but when you do feel a sort of weird sense of accomplishment, don't you? Even if you don't do much, you do feel that. Especially if you're doing some sort of exercise, I think that's where clearly you feel a bit more. Not that I do that. I'm lazy as heck. But I've heard you feel. I've heard that's what happens. Oh God, what have I done there? Let's repair these lines a bit. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Awesome. I might actually, for the lines here, I want them sort of coming around the other direction. So I want them kind of going like this. I'm not sure if this will work because I've sort of done it in the wrong direction below. We'll have a look. I'm not really sure about these lines like that. I might just leave that for now. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. We'll see how it looks. This is a really weird color as well. It really is just a sort of weird purpley poo brown kind of color. It's a strange one, but it's interesting. I'll give it that. Okay, let's pop that in. I might round that off a bit. I'm not sure if I'll add this to any products actually. I'm not. I don't think I feel as proud of this work as I do with other works. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the end result is before I make any final decisions. Because sometimes pieces are like that. You spend ages on them, thinking that they're going to sort of come together, and then they don't. Well, then sometimes you spend ages on a work thinking that it just isn't going to come together. But then it does. Like when you actually see the end result, you're like, oh wow, that's actually really cool. I'm glad I persisted. And this could be one of those ones which goes either way. It could be a sketch which is really cool, or it could be a sketch which is just utterly awful. I feel like it's too early to tell with this one. And there's always little hacks and tricks you can do to make these things look better if they don't work. Like if this color scheme just doesn't work in respects to being a good pattern, I can always just use like a nice gradient map or something to get it looking good. I'm getting a bit sick of doing those lines, so I'm going to move over here and do some other types of details. I might just go like this, like that. just adding a bit of detail in between this sort of Toblerone shape that we came up with earlier. Inspired by Dr. O. So Dr. O always has these amazing ideas while I'm sketching, and it's been quite cool actually. Let's go. I might make these a bit thicker. There we go. That looks a bit better. And I'll make this one a lot thicker. Cool. Awesome. I've actually got a command that's, so I'm actually, yeah, it feels like I'm an actual Twitch person now. But I've got a command, and you're welcome to try it out, Spinsy, if you're still on. But it's !AQH, and you can spam that as much as you like. I'm wondering if you'll guess what it is. It's a pretty cool little command that just there we go. Look at that. So yeah, Spins is the author of the amazing channel called A Quiet Haunt. So if you really like some of the ethereal music that plays during the lobby of my streams, so the lobby is sort of the bit where before it all begins, that's Spinsy here. So he actually makes a lot of his music using guitar pedals and all sorts of cool stuff. It's pretty neat. I like it. I liked it so much that I put it in my streams, and I was planning to make my streams just all about me. It's no, it's really cool. So check that out. It's pretty neat. Okay, where should I move on to now? I'm not sure if I want to do the standard pattern I always do for vines. I want to do something a little bit different with this one. What I might do, I might go lengthways like that. Very cool. Yeah, I like that. I might try this. So I'll go lengthways just to add a bit of variety, because sometimes when you add the same pattern, it just gets a bit repetitive. But I suppose that's what patterns are, right? They're repetitive. So maybe that's not a bad thing either. Okay, let's polish that up a bit. So what have I been doing? I haven't really been doing much. I sort of mentioned earlier, I've been playing Mafia 3, which I'm really quite addicted to at the moment. I think it's such an underrated game, but really cool. And I've been watching a new show called Foundation, which is sort of on Apple TV Plus, and I really dig it. I think it's cool. I don't know what the storyline's sort of just starting off. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Game of Thrones, because it's kind of it feels like these first couple of episodes you're trying to learn all the lore and all the different kind of I don't know, they're not so much families in this one, but you're sort of trying to learn, I suppose, the universe, if that makes sense, the fictional universe. But the cinematics of it, like the actual colors and the visuals and the just overall presentation is just phenomenal. It looks amazing. So I'm really digging that actually at the moment. That's super neat. So if you're looking for something new to watch, I think that's going to be my new little addiction. Now I just have to, unfortunately I've sort of come onto it too early, because it hasn't all come out yet. You have to sort of wait every like Friday or something for it to come out, I think, which is really annoying. I hate that with streaming platforms. I hate how they always like draw it out. I'm the type of guy who likes binging stuff, watch it all at once kind of thing. Okay, let's add some more details to this part here. I'm glad I sort of did the color midway through. I should do that more often. Just makes for a more interesting visual for the stream, I think. There we go, that's kind of cool. I might do some texture lines here like that, but not too many. I'll sort of sparse them out a bit. Sparse them out, another example of my prime English. There we go. Okay, let's go like this. Yeah, I kind of like that. That makes it look a bit like wood, actually. Well, it reminds me of wood. It's not sure what it reminds you of. Usually wood doesn't go in these multiple directions unless you're, I suppose, looking on the interior of it. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying this. I think it's an interesting, just adds a little bit of detail, and that detail, I don't know, it keeps people, it sort of grabs the eye a bit, I think. I sort of already did add a bit of texture to this part. I might just sort of polish that a little bit more, or maybe add smaller grains within these larger ones. That might make it a bit more interesting. Or it might make it look worse. I don't know. There we go. I feel like this stream has been a bit more experimental. Like I'm not usually this experimental with my sketching on stream, but yeah, I feel like I've tried a whole bunch of new things. Like I've tried this new color palette. I don't tend to sort of do patterns this way either, so it's been a bit experimental there as well. And I'm not sure if it's going to work. But sometimes experiments are like that. They just don't work. But I don't know. I'm sort of holding out my judgment for this piece because I feel like it could all completely change the moment I apply it to a repeating pattern. So once you see it repeating, it might actually look really cool. What product is this design going on? I'm not even sure. That's the thing, because the whole thing that this was inspired by was this morning I experimented with one of my other patterns, this one here, and I put it onto a pair of shoes. So these shoes, apparently you can actually buy them. I think I get 25% or something. So they're on a website called, I think, Canvas something. I don't know. It's on my Instagram. I sort of posted it today, but I'll probably put it on my website when I'm a bit more aware of what it actually is as a product, because it's a little bit vague at the moment. But yeah, seeing how cool that looked, it sort of inspired me to do another seamless pattern. And we just had Oriyuka, another popular, but another streamer who occasionally frequents my channel, and he said I should try it on a mask. Not a bad idea. I do like the idea of putting on a mask. I haven't done like a face mask yet, and I feel like I should make the most of this pandemic and capitalize on that need. So maybe I will. We'll soon see. Very cool. I think this pattern's a little bit different to what I was doing before, but that's okay. It kind of works. I think as well, when I add depth, so I'm going to add a little bit more darker tones and lighter tones to the image, that will sort of make it look a little bit better as well. A mask would be a good idea. I feel like the only problem with the mask, I feel like this particular design might be a little bit too intricate. Like this might be better on something like a bag, something larger, like an apron, or maybe some curtains. That would be an awful pair of curtains, actually. I take that back immediately. That would be the most hideous curtain I think you could ever put in your home. I would never, not even I would put these in up as curtains. But yeah, something like that, something larger, maybe a backpack or some kind of pouch or something. It might look all right, but I feel like a mask is just a little bit too small, and so a lot of these finer details will get lost. But I am tempted to do like a mask. I feel like you have to do much more simplified patterns, and I think that's where I usually, that might be the reason why I haven't done one. Every time I start, I go, oh no, this pattern's a little bit too complicated. Because when it's too complicated, you just lose that fidelity. Make one of those. What are those covers you put over teapots? What do they call them? It's like a tea cozy. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Do people still have tea cozies? Is that a thing? Um, that feels like a very 1950s kind of thing. Really, you have one? My God, I assume you have one. Or maybe you're responding to the fact that it's called a tea cozy. Um, it's that's a really weird request. I think you might be the only person who'll ever ask me that. It's I don't even really know what they look like. I don't have one, but I'm sure there's a market out there. Yeah, you know what? Let's find out. Let's find out what a tea cozy actually looks like. Um, tea cozy. What are they? What do they look like? Oh my God. Oh my God. Of course that's what they look like. What on earth are these things? Oh, we got a snail as well. They look like beanies of ear holes. Yeah, they most certainly do. Um, wow, this was fruitful. I'm glad you mentioned tea cozies, Doctor O. That's probably made my night. God, they look awful, don't they? What is this? What is that? Oh man. Imagine having this in your home. Imagine just having like a really minimalistic kitchen. And then you've got something like I don't know, something like this. That makes me laugh. I don't know why that gets me, but it really does. Oh man, tea cozies, eh? Is I've learned something new. Wow. That's crazy. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. I'm just imagining someone with a really minimalistic kind of house with these like really really sort of tawdry kind of things. But my God, to anyone watching the replay on YouTube, I apologize if you're a massive tea cozy enthusiast. I do thoroughly apologize. I just never seen one before, and it took me by surprise. There we go. Okay, so I'm adding a bit of form just by adding sort of some darker colors to these shapes, and I think it's already looking a little bit better. Let's go like that. I feel it naturally would. It naturally would look just a bit better. And it's reached the point where, because I'm so unsure if this is actually going to look any good, I'm sort of wondering if it's worth spending too much time on it. So I'm kind of rushing through it a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting piece. It's very different to what I would normally do. So I'm kind of just creating a few gradients here, just to add a little bit of, I don't know, interest, visual difference, visual pizzazz. I'm just throwing out gibberish now. It's truly reached that time of the stream. Okay, let's pop that in. So I'm going for a nice bright yellow there for no reason at all. Let's go like that. Yeah, that's quite vibrant actually. It's a very vibrant yellow. Let's grab a darker tone here. I can't get over that chicken tea cozy. It's just this is the thing that's going to be in my mind all night. I'm going to be having nightmares just of this chicken tea cozy, this rooster tea cozy thing. There's something kind of weirdly haunting about them as well. I don't know what it is. I like the elephant one. That's kind of cool. That's creative, at least. They've turned the little spout into a trunk. Very cool. Let's go to a darker tone. You know what? Maybe that will be my next stream. I'll design a tea cozy. But I'm not sure if there's any manufacturers who actually even make tea cozies anymore. So that might be a hard thing to find. We'll soon find out, I suppose. Let's add a bit of form to this very small blob in the corner. Just like that. And then I'll just blur it and sort of sculpt that depth into it. I'll add a bit of darkness to this sort of purpley kind of, I don't know. I kind of see it as a bit of a, sort of like a plum color. It doesn't quite come up as in the capture as being as purple as it does in, I suppose, as opposed to what I'm seeing, but yeah, it's more of a sort of purpley brown kind of color, and it looks quite nice actually. I might try and use that more. Let's grab this one. Let's go like that. Okay, let's go here. So I'm just slowly creating a few gradients here because I think that'll make it look a bit better. And I'm going to add that darker tone that I added there. Maybe even might make that a bit darker as well. Cool. Awesome. Right, so I've sort of added a lot of depth to this sketch. I think we're almost coming to an end. I'll probably finish this piece as much as I can before 11, because I think if you haven't noticed already, my mind is slowly going into a state of insanity. All I can think of is tea cozies. It has completely disrupted my mind that that thing actually exists. I think I don't like that shadow, that bit of depth going as deep as it is. There we go. Let's add a bit of color, a bit of darkness to this thing here. Cool. I think I'm just sort of instinctively making a lot of these things more vibrant than than the actual color palette I selected. But at the same time, I feel they're kind of becoming a little bit like highlights. So they kind of work in a weird way. Let's take these lighter tones. I'll just sort of blur them in. There we go. And I think once again, I'll probably touch this up off stream just to make sure there's no sort of like sort of dodgy lines or maybe colors that haven't quite filled the gaps, that kind of thing. But I hope by the end of this stream you get an idea of what the finished product looks like. Let's grab a darker tone of this color and we'll add a bit of form just like that. I'm not going to be too precise with it. Just precise enough that you kind of get the idea I'm going for. So I'm just trying to make it more rounder with a bit of depth. Cool. So I'm sort of doing the under parts of each, yeah, of this image, I suppose. So the under parts of every shape. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that now. It's looking kind of cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this part of the sketch for a while because this part never really quite felt good enough. But I think if I add a bit of lightness to the top here, I can create that depth that I feel like it really needs. I may inadvertently end up changing the color a little bit here, but that's okay. I might even add a bit of darkness as well to the underparts, just like I did with the previous section. and I think that'll improve it a little bit. And if this color just makes a whole thing look kind of lame, I'll play around with a color gradient at the end. We can see what the sketch looks like with different color palettes. Because now that we've actually made this gradient, oh, I've just realized I kind of made a mistake with my color there, and my sketching. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to color that in like that, and then I'm going to erase this. You might see what I'm trying to go for here. There we go. That looks a bit better. So I'm going to grab this, that color there, and I'm going to go like that. See, it was never supposed to be a hole. Well, it was a hole, but it was supposed to see the other part underneath it. So that's kind of that little problem solved. And now let's get a darker variant of this, just slightly darker, because it's already a pretty darker color. Might even push it a little bit more towards the red. So we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's a bit more of a poo brown now, which is a nice poo brown. You'll never hear me say that again, but sometimes you just need a good bit of poo brown to finish a piece. You never know. Oh, let's take a drink. There we go. Now we got about 15 minutes before I before my planned finish. So I like to try and end relatively at a good time. And so before we finish, I'll see what this pattern looks like in that sort of seamless format. And I'll do that through Infinite Painter, which is kind of cool. And I'll also try a few different other color variants to see what they look like. So I'll probably copy this image a few times. Just going to go like that. I'll add that there as well. Not being too precise with my colors in this stream. We'll see how we go though. Let's go to a nice red. We'll make this sort of vine thing a little bit more vibrant by having a more vibrant color as its shadow. There we go, and I'll just do it up here as well. Okay, and then I just have to do this one. So once I finish that, we'll get to see what it looks like as a seamless repeating pattern. I reckon it's going to look better than I think it will. So I think throughout this entire sketch, I've kind of been looking at this piece and going, what have I made here? What is this garbage? But I think I'm going to be surprised. I think this is one of those pieces where like it's going to come out better than I think. My instincts think, at least. Let's go like that. Mind you though, it could go completely the other way. It could be one of those streams where I end it and I'm like, yeah, this looks like shit. And that can happen. And that's sometimes the thing I enjoy most about sketching, because when you fail, it makes the successes so much more rewarding. Okay, that's good enough for now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this entire project actually. So I'm going to duplicate that just in case I make a destructive mistake, so I don't absolutely lose the entire thing. I'm going to get rid of that composition layer. I'm going to merge those all together, and I'm going to get rid of the background. And then I'm going to copy. No, I'm actually going to save this as a PNG. This is the moment of truth. This is where it all kind of comes together, hopefully. We'll soon see what this actually looks like, if it actually looks any good or not. The more I look at it, I kind of like this color scheme. It's really weird. It's completely something I wouldn't use. I do feel like the capture isn't doing it justice, actually. I think it certainly looks better on the actual iPad in person, but that's often the case with this kind of thing. Okay, let's go to our project. So this was where we began with just a few basic sort of shapes and things. And now, I've actually forgotten which orientation we were. I think it was that, wasn't it? Now, I'm going to import that pattern. Let's go to Photos. We'll go to this one right here. We'll go Layer. And it's going to look a bit weird first because it often does this thing where it kind of expands it too much. So let's see if I can kind of orientate this with, I think I've lost the actual, there we go, that kind of, what have I done? God. That's interesting actually, isn't it? I feel like I've completely changed the entire form of the actual pattern somewhere along the line. But, I don't know, it still kind of works. It's interesting that. So if I go like this, I'll try and make it so that this part here matches with that S shape. And there we go. It is trippy, isn't it? It's a very trippy kind of thing. If I mute that layer, I can now play around with the color here. So I sort of used purple as a kind of God, brown actually looks really cool. I quite like that actually. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but brown looks really cool. I might push it a little bit more up to the orange. See if, no, actually that kind of looks all right. God, I'm actually really digging this color scheme now. I don't know about you. What do you guys think? Do you think this actually works? To those watching in the YouTube recording, let me know there as well. But it looks great. I'm glad you think that. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by how this came out. It looks really cool. Do you think they should be more spaced out like that, or do you like those kind of strange overlaps that occasionally occur when they're larger? I don't think that looks good. I think it needs to be sort of around there, I think. Yeah, oh God. It's interesting. Like you can even rotate this as well, which is a bit of fun. Like I wonder if I try that, that might look even more crazy. But yeah, it is really trippy. You're right, Dr. O. You like it with some space. Yeah, no, I can kind of see that actually. I think, let's spread it out just a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks better. I'm liking this kind of composition. So this could actually be a repeating pattern on a number of things. How much time do we have? You know what? Let's try putting it on some shoes. This may or may not work because I've completely forgotten the actual web URL of the thing that I actually used to do that. But let's try going save image. And because I'm really unfamiliar with this app, I will double check and see if it's actually saved, because sometimes these things are a bit confusing. Yeah, see that? It's kind of weird. It doesn't save the color. So I might try that again. Let's go over here. Let's go export. Oh, there we go. I have to switch on background. That would make sense. That's the obvious thing I was missing there. And I'll go save image. And let's try putting it on some shoes. Let's see if I can remember what that website was. We'll go to our favorite favorite search engine, DuckDuckGo, and we'll go canvas shoes. I know there's this other artist I follow all the time called Suede Illustrations. He's a really cool artist, and he's actually the one who kind of inspired me to go on there. So hopefully that comes up on there, but maybe not. Let's try. I'm probably spelling canvas wrong as well. It's probably got some like really lame name. Mlloyd artist. Shoes. It's a great website when you can't actually find it. I think this is completely the wrong one. Yeah, this is completely the wrong one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a very quick intermission. I'm going to try and find this this place where I got these shoes designed. I want to see this pattern on something. I want to show you that before I end the stream. So we'll be back relatively shortly. Hang tight, my friends. And we're back, and it's actually Canva, not Canvas. And yeah, you would think that it's spelt with a C because that's actually the material that it's made out of, canvas. But no, I think they're just being super trendy and cool. And they actually have these all sorts of kind of interesting designs. I did sort of weird boat shoes design before, but I'm tempted to try like these high top kind of designs. I think that's kind of interesting. So let's give that a shot. Let's see what it looks like. So let's go to image. Let's upload this new image that we've just created over here. And this is the truth. Like, this is the moment of truth where you realize it either looks amazing or it absolutely is completely unusable. So let's find out. We'll go use, and oh, you know what? It's kind of cool. I dig it. This has been a pleasant surprise for little Lloydie. I did not think this would actually look as cool as it did. I didn't know you could actually change the colors here as well. That's kind of neat. I might just stick with these colors for now. Fresh kicks. Indeed. I think it would look cool if you had like a variety of patterns. Like if I select this one, I wonder what would happen if I went to, oh God, no, what have I done there? I've destroyed it. It was beautiful while it lasted, but I've destroyed it. Let's go back here. Can I exit? Oh no, I haven't destroyed it. There we go. Let's go here. This is a bit cheeky, but if I go to upload and I go to my previous pattern, oh God, look at that. That's awful. Too much? Is it just a little bit too much? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh, you can make it bigger and smaller. That's kind of fun. I do like the pattern or the design generator on this thing. It's a bit of fun. And I was actually thinking of starting a Redbubble page actually. And because with Redbubble, they have a similar thing where you can sort of stretch your patterns over everything. But there's also a few other sort of manufacturers I might try this sort of pattern with. I think I'm going to get rid of that. That's kind of awful. But yeah, I think I might end the stream there. That seems like we've accomplished something. We've made a really funky, crazy pattern. And yeah, if you liked this stream and you're watching this back on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're watching the replay on Twitch, feel free to follow. I'm always looking for followers, so that's really cool. And if you love what I do, consider sharing what I do. So you can actually share me by pressing the sort of share button on your browser, and you can share me on Instagram or wherever you want, and that gets me lots of cool followers. So I look forward to meeting all of them. Yeah, a few things I'll just quickly promote before I end the stream. I'm mlloyd, and my website is mlloyd. And yeah, you can actually find everything I do on my website. So you can actually browse all my products by clicking Browse Products. Or you can actually go to the Live section here. And that shows you all of... Oh, wow. Error 502, that's a good sign. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, essentially what that would normally show you is my YouTube channel as well. So you can actually find all the recorded versions there. On my website, you'll also find a link to my Skillshare course. So if you liked some of the learnings from this session, maybe you learned how to drag a photo into Procreate to bring up a color palette. That's the first time I ever tried that. You can actually learn a lot of other really cool tricks to do with Procreate from my Create an Augmented Reality sketch. And you also learn this cool trick where you can kind of draw over the top of your photos and add sort of realistic shadows in relation to the image. So it's a bit of fun there as well. So that's my Skillshare. And I think that's me for tonight. So thank you to all those who watched. Thank you, Dr. O and Spins, for your dedication as viewers. It's really cool. I've always appreciated it. This is a new overlay I'm testing out. It's one with my thumb. Farewell, cozy. Enjoy your tea cozy dreams or nightmares. Yeah, it's interesting. It's certainly on my mind, and I'm certainly imagining a tea cozy version of this artwork. And it is something to dream about and want, like, very heavily. You can just imagine this pattern on a tea cozy, can't you? It would be a very strange thing indeed. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for those who watch the replay on YouTube. And remember, you can check everything out on mlloyd. You can even follow me on Instagram. That's one thing I didn't mention, at mlloyd. Yeah, I'm mlloyd. That's the moral of the story. My website is mlloyd.com. On Instagram, I'm at mlloyd, and you can even support me on Patreon if you really love the content. So you're welcome to check me out there as well. Hang back, I shall find another cool streamer to actually raid. I'm getting good at raiding now. I actually know how to do it. You sort of search for artists before you click raid, which is kind of neat. So I'll do that. So let's go to arts. Who shall we find? Who shalt I find? I've actually found some really cool artists recently, which is kind of neat. So I'm excited to see who we have. Let's go to artists. I like to try and find Australian ones. Actually struggling to find the art channel. Here we go. Let's go to search tags. We'll go Australian. I always try to find someone who does like abstract stuff, but usually I just find people doing weird anime things. But that's not bad either. That's pretty impressive. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. We've got Divan. She's doing some cool pictures of strawberries. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to raid this person. I hope you all enjoy her content. She seems pretty cool. And let me do that properly. I just said I was getting really good at streaming, and then I completely failed. There we go, Divan. There we go. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I shall start that raid. But before I do, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm mlloyd, and you can find everything I do at mlloyd, and I'll see you in the next stream. Ciao.